couple of programmes ago, we looked ahead to the 80th Ipswich Closed Table Tennis Championship. It took place at the weekend. A world record was broken at that event on the Sunday just gone, and this was for the most number of people involved in a consecutive table tennis rally. It stood at just over 100. The German player Timo Boll held it with a group of Chinese school children. At the Ipswich Corn Exchange, Stephen Gertsen stood at one end of the table on Sunday, and the players kept on coming. The closing stage is coming up, followed by Jim and John with the Ipswich and District Table Tennis League.
Oh, it's fantastic just seeing everybody building up to the end there, the nerves, the tension, the excitement. It was just a lot of emotions by all the different players.
As we said, John, you were going to give this 3 attempts, and you did use all 3 lives in the end.
Correct, yes. I mean, Jimmy's said what he feels about the people that were there, but I was very proud of not only the players but the spectators and the other helpers, because the spectators were getting involved with their youngsters. They were sort of trying to build them up, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds. So everybody, I was really proud of everybody that was there that day. It was a fantastic experience.
And Jim, at one point you're behind the scenes, and then of course you and John have to run on and take your place in a queue which you'd formed around the Corn Exchange. So what was that like? Is it quite nerve-wracking when you're going up to take your shot? Because at this point you're actually approaching the world record.
I didn't know at the time, but my shot was 107, so 101 was the world record. We'd already beaten it, but we didn't know that at the time because we weren't counting out loud. When I went to play my shot, I was very nervous. Because nobody wants to make a mistake when you get that far down the line of players.
Were there any close calls? Just watching it back, Amy Sparks, who we've chatted to on BBC Radio Suffolk before, she's won the women's singles in previous years, gave you a bit of a close call.
She did. I think the Premier players tend to play the ball back as though they're playing in a match. So there was a bit of side spin and it was wide to the backhand side. But Stephen Gertsen, who's our international player at the other end of the table, returned that nicely back to the centre, ready for the next player.
So I guess, John, a big thank you to everyone who was involved on the day and a really successful weekend as well. We've not even mentioned the championships that took place on the Sunday.
Well, the championships were brilliant. Everything went very, very smoothly this year. It seems to be getting almost easier every year, because when we first went back to the Corn Exchange, there were a few hiccups initially, but we seem to have got everything sorted out now. And although a lot of people are now volunteering to help, on the Friday night when we had the set-up, it was a lot quicker than it has been previous years. Everybody knew what they'd got to do. The finals night itself, we had the mayor there and various other people. John Kitchener, who won the men's singles 14 times when he lived in the area. He came back and presented most of the prizes. It was a really good evening. I think when I came on last time, I said that the people to watch was Jake Collins, who won it last year, and he won it again this year. So there was quite a surprise with Neil Charles. He was knocked out in an earlier round by, I think Paul Broxton, who was about number 16 seed. A number 16 seed knocked him out in the quarterfinals, which was a bit of a shock to everybody. So it was an interesting finals.
A remarkable feat then for the 80th anniversary of the Ipswich Table Tennis District League. What do you do for number 81 or looking ahead 90 even? You've set a really high bar now, world records. We're going to expect one every year.
Well, I think once we've put our claim in and got the world record, we'll monitor the Guinness World Record website, and if somebody comes along and beat that, then next year we'll have another go and we'll take that record back.
We had boxing in the score for boxing. One judge, 106. Second judge, 108. And two unofficial counts, 108 and 108. We've got to go back to the video and play that back, obviously, today. But we just did 108.
An amazing scene and a great achievement at the Ipswich Corn Exchange at the weekend when the world record for the number of players involved in a consecutive table tennis rally was broken. Well done to everyone involved, and a special thanks to the club secretary and head organiser Jim Farrow and the club chairman John Leith with the Ipswich and District Table Tennis League.